It accounts for 40% of the world's population and the global economy. The BRICS bloc of developing nations aims to challenge the dominance of the dollar and the US-led economic order. In theory, it has the clout to push through reforms to global governance. But critics say the expanded group faces rifts among its members. The coherence of the bloc was put into question after China's President Xi Jinping skipped this year's summit for the first time in 12 years. Although BRICS leaders have criticised US policies, including trade tariffs, during the gathering in Brazil's Rio de Janeiro, they shied away from naming Washington directly. President Donald Trump responded by accusing the bloc of being anti-American and threatening a 10% levy on any country that aligns itself with BRICS policies. So, does the bloc really pose a threat to the American financial system, and can it challenge the existing world order? Katia Lopez-Horoyan reports. If we could start with you, Gustavo, thank you both for joining us. Gustavo, I'm starting with you because you were actually in Rio at the summit. One president, was that disappointing, and was it a sign of division within BRICS? So we heard from Donald Trump. He threatened during this summit an extra 10% tariff on imports from themselves with BRICS. What do you make of BRICS' response to that? In their statement, they stopped short of naming the US even, while they did criticise trade tariffs in general. Well, we'll pick up on the dollar a little bit later, but Philippe, I just want to get your thoughts on those negotiations and Trump's tariffs. I mean, could you back in on some of the points you were making about the dollar? Donald Trump has said that BRICS was set up to harm the dollar. BRICS nations are trying to decrease their dependency, though, on the dollar. Are they succeeding there? She's described it as Israel's economy of genocide. The United Nations Special Rapporteur for the occupied Palestinian territories has accused some of the world's largest companies of profiting from Israel's military actions in Gaza and in the occupied West Bank in breach of international law. Francesca Albanese has called for sanctions and an arms embargo on Israel and for global corporations to be held accountable for their actions. Israel and some of the companies named in the report have rejected her findings as groundless, while the Trump administration has imposed sanctions on Albanese over her efforts to have the International Criminal Court take action against US and Israeli officials and companies. Here are some of the companies listed. Of Counting the Cost, I'm Louisa Pilbeam from the whole team. Thank you for joining us. The news on Al Jazeera is up next.